Isn't that just what the fan base does every time there's a Pikachu clone? Ah! Not another one!
Back to our Gravity Falls and cryptid-inspired region.
This'll be
In
fun.
the previous episode, you battled some members of the mysterious...
I mean, I've heard Pikachu yell quite a bit in the actual stuff.
Scare them off.
Or at least in Smash when it uses its ultimate. Although I don't know how much that counts. Alright.
You've made your way back to the Pokemon Research Shack.
Don't forget, the twins are coming to stay. More research needed. Must increase store price. Is this Pokemon? Huh? Profits.
But you don't
Just
understand.
looking at the signs in the
They
back.
had a little machine thingy that looked like one of your experiments called an MUW, and they were threatening us with it.
That's ridiculous. I'm the only one doing any advanced sciencey research here. It probably wasn't anything.
You mean you're the one with the license to do so? Yeah, sure, whatever, huh?
Crystals for their big bad boss.
Crystals, eh? Like expensive-looking crystals?
You have my
I like the
interest.
sound of that. How did you
I'm
find
listening.
crystals?
We, we just kind of wandered into them out in the
Kind of
woods.
wandered over yonder.
But Grunkle Will, we think there's something super serious going on here.
Listen, kids. I know I probably freaked you two out when I told you that the Hoenn region...
Just realized
is weird and
Hoenn is a
dangerous,
kind of
but
an
that
amalgam of
doesn't mean that
hoax.
there's any
Took me a
conspiracies
second,
or
but
evildoers or
5
anything
episodes,
like
but
that.
that's pretty
You ran
clever.
into some jerks in hoods. I just need you two to promise me that you'll steer clear of them in the future.
Grunkle Will, we never said that they were wearing hoods.
Ah,
Promise me.
man.
Fine. We promise to avoid them unless they're causing trouble and they need to be stopped.
No,
What was
no.
Nothing.
Good.
They really are related in some regard.
Now, on a completely unrelated note, I need you two to go visit the incredibly dangerous bottomless pit that's nearby.
Bottomless pit?
Yeah.
Don't
it
fall in
really
it.
draws
It's
in the
really
tourists.
bad luck.
One of my other research assistants...
It's like the bottomless pit in the Stanley
apparently
Parable 2.
found one of the missing device components while he was repairing the railing around the pit.
That'd be something.
Go get the piece from him and bring it back to me. Alright, let me show you where he is. Oh, and if you are going to be traveling farther out, let me also mark where you can find Pokemon centers and marks.
Oh, thank you. That's greatly
Adds
appreciated.
a smattering of icons to your map showing all of the Pokécenters, and also adds an icon for where moose can be found.
Moose?
And then he just pushes you out the door.
Get
It's about
out.
a quick walk, and you pass by a number of familiar Pokemon like Littlerk, Uglorn, and Royaligi.
Of course.
But you also run into
gotta
a
run-
couple new species. as
Naturally.
you head north.
You can't run into the same Pokemon for the entire game. That'd be
From New
boring.
York State. Lake Onondaga is recognized
Or that'd be
as one
Pokemon
of the
Beta.
most polluted lakes in America. Yeah, go America.
USA! USA! Yeah!
Living in the lake for hundreds of years.
I like how its
all
head
of
looks
the
like a
toxins
beaker.
And potentially radioactive waste in there now has fed into the claim that a giant radioactive salamander, Augie, now calls it home.
Yep.
And
Look, it's sci-fi. We love our radiation to make giant
we're
monsters.
modeling the overall silhouette.
It's been in
and
the
appearance
sci-fi
after
genre
an
for years.
minor
It's not
blast
going
of
anywhere.
spilling Chemicals. I also wanted to forego the classic purple found in a lot of poison types in favor of this almost radioactive looking green.
Hey, that works.
It
You
gives
gotta
it
mix
lot
it up
of
a little bit.
levity, and I think successfully gives us a poison type that looks rather benevolent. All right.
Overall,
let's say
yeah.
hello
It looks
to
kinda friendly.
Ugu, the slime Pokemon.
It's gonna be the
While it's
toy
poisonous,
of the region.
This adorable Pokemon has proven quite useful across the Hoenn region. Ugu seek out and consume pollution wherever they go. Scientists suspect that this Pokemon was accidentally man-made in the Unova region.
Really?
Somewhat recently.
Interesting. And they
Its ability
moved
is
over to
liquid
here.
ooze,
That's kind
and
of
that
cool.
Damages anyone that tries
And
to
you know, it'd be like, wait, how do we get them back? Now
Now
we're just stuck with Trubbishes and Garbodors.
I mean, it likes to eat still. You
Or maybe
see
just
one
more infected
splashing
here and
about
they
in
just
a
went
puddle,
where
and it
food was,
smiles
you know,
up
as
at you.
animals do in
But
real life.
You also feel as though you're being watched by something else.
I think with its
nearby,
eyes
something
closed, it's cute like that.
decidedly less cute.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of adorable...
Yeah, you gotta have one
Pokemon and
dangerous looking one.
Nothing actually intimidating yet, so let's remedy
Yeah,
it.
let's fix that real quick.
Some of you
Good
know that
gravy.
I love me some Dungeons and Dragons, so we're taking one
I
of
see
its
cats
most
with
iconic
suction
monsters,
and
the
claws, and it's like,
Displacer
oh boy.
Beast, and sprinkling in some hints of the various black cat cryptids to get something really strange. Now, the Displacer Beast is already a 6-legged panther with tentacles that creates illusions, but we're going to push
fun with
that
that.
one step further by having it
What am I supposed to do with that?
made up of tentacles. Like, sure, it looks like a cat, but it is just figured
It looks like
out
a
over
cat,
time that people
I
like
think.
Cats, and it would be more accepted if it held its wiggly body in this configuration
Look.
most of the time.
If you can look like a cat as much as you want. If I see tentacles, I know you ain't a
The
cat.
types of illusions it makes work just as well for the psychic type. Okay, let's go ahead and meet Foline.
I like how it looks,
The
though. It is
illusion
nice and
Pokemon.
disturbing.
What appears to be
like
a
a ma-
cat is actually a mass of
Imagine
tentacles.
this animation comes out, looks like a
Only
normal
is
cat,
Foline
and then it like
able to
unfurls
shape
its
the shape
tentacles
of
and
its
be like,
body,
ah!
But its impressive abilities allow
Like, you
it
know, when
to
it comes out of the
psychic
Pokeball
protection.
animation.
Researchers assume that these strange Pokemon are actually
Like the
ultra beasts
multicolored
who have
thing.
learned to mimic cats over many years to be
Get
accepted.
out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! I've seen freaking Pokemon Philosopher. That doesn't end well.
When switching into battle, it will take on the appearance of the opponent's last Pokemon. And the hidden ability is Limber, because it is tentacles after all.
The shiny color makes it
These
look like
Pokemon
ice
are quite
cream.
difficult to spot in the
Okay,
wild,
Neapolitan to
often
be more
using
specific.
psychic illusions to appear as one of the other Pokemon found in the area.
Oh, the fart
Who
one.
knows? Maybe you would be lucky enough to find one of these rare beasties. Let me know if either of these two would make it onto your team. You also
Goop
suspect
guy, yeah,
there's
that
another
cat one,
new
Ultra
Pokemon
Beast?
in the area.
No.
As you can hear
I'd
a
like it,
high-pitched
but
screech
it's
from
too...
time to time.
No,
That
it's
actually makes
dangerous.
your head hurt. But looking around, you aren't able to actually find it. Very strange. Well, eventually, you do make it all the way to the bottomless pit, where you
Give you
find
$5 to
Moose
jump in.
working on the
Ah,
ride.
Moose. The
Hello.
not Zeus.
Oh, hey dude, I'm Moose. What's up?
Grunka Will wants us to take the machine part thing to him.
Oh, like you two are totally the twins who are gonna be staying at the research shack this summer. Super cool. But I can't just give you the component I found.
What? Why not?
Professor Pines made me promise that if I find any components of the device, that I can't give them to
It's actually a
anyone,
really good
no
impression
matter who
of
they are.
Zeus.
Sorry, dude.
That stinks like a butt.
Totally. Especially since I need to fix this fence still. But I don't know. Maybe if you were to earn it from me,
Say
like
in
a super
battles.
epic Pokemon battle,
Or get me a virtual girlfriend that would become real
that
and then,
crazy?
like, try to take over or something.
It's genius.
awesome. But I should warn you that I'm kind of like an expert on
Well,
normal type Pokemon.
Gravity Falls,
Aw.
proving VTubers are evil
Gonna
before
battle.
ahead of their time. That was a
Mini,
joke.
Mini, you, dude.
Of course,
Moose
that's...
points at you and releases his first Pokemon of the battle. But luckily, the teeny tiny little Nolo is kind of a pushover. Moose's
Start with
next
an
two
easy one, of
Pokemon
course.
Are sure to be a bit tougher though.
Go,
Alrighty,
Gyarados.
time
That's
for
not a normal type.
Clone. Every region needs one, and we're
It's an
basing
unwritten
ours
rule.
off of an awesome Canadian cryptid, the Lackwood Screecher. And the wonderful thing about it is that people have reportedly heard its cry, which often leads to headaches.
Y'all ever seen that
nausea,
video just to go for
nosebleeds.
screaming
But
to the
its
heavens?
appearance is a complete mystery. We're going to
It's
take
not-
that screechy
Although if you
behavior,
haven't heard that one, there's
combine it
also the freaking
with a
Markiplier.
rodent that I
It's a
love.
wolf in sheep's
I
clothing.
lived in Alaska
Ah!
for a while, where I fell in love with the native pika
Great
and
video.
its own little call. But pika also live across Canada, so that works out nicely.
Why was we're talking about is to go
and I
for on
don't
top of the
normally talk
freaking
about name
mountain
inspirations,
screaming to
but
heaven, just
for
like, I don't know what you're
Pokemon
yelling about, but I
in
know that
particular,
feeling.
I definitely do not speak Japanese.
No.
But we're going to take Urusai, Loud, and Kakureta, Hidden, to get Kakurasai.
Kukurasai.
Kakurasai, the loud.
I can
mouse
pronounce
Pokemon.
that.
This small mouse.
The shiny
utilizes
colors
bursts
takes
of
away its
electricity
colors.
to
Interesting.
produce
Well, it gets a
overwhelming
reference back that's
screams.
normal type.
Kakurasai prefers to remain hidden, and
I ought to
in
be
the
hidden when
Hoenn
you're
region,
friggin'
they
yelling.
are incredibly rare. While it is possible to hear its cry from incredibly far away, they still somehow manage to
I mean,
avoid most
in
of the
Unova. What
seek
the
out.
heck was that?
Its ability is punk rock, and that boosts sound-based moves and halves damage from the same moves. And its hidden ability is soundproof. You are
Yo, imagine like
confident
it's
that
being
this
so
is a
large here in
Pokemon
other
that you
regions, and
first
other
will
regions
surround the
claiming it's a
area.
legendary
Its
Pokemon that's
screech
never
is
been
quite
found.
powerful, and having boosted sound type attacks is a
That'd be
big
kind of
deal
cool,
with,
just if
but
only
you
just for
eventually
lore
manage to
reasons.
knock it out.
Like imagine going through a future and be like,
Moose's
there's this
next
legend of a
Pokemon
Pokemon we
looks a
keep
bit
hearing for
spookier, though.
years, and then
Yeah,
like
I
years
figured
later we found
Moose
it's
needed
this
a little
thing.
bit of a curveball.
Kind of a letdown,
And
but
going up
also
against a
kind of
ghost
funny.
type in what is essentially your first gym battle felt about right. Now, this little
This is
guy
the gym
based
battle?
on the
Fair
gym
enough.
dot of Indonesia. These are
Plus, you're gonna get in this
grizzly
region,
little
don't need to have
dolls,
gyms.
often with long hair, sizable fangs, and sharp
These things are
claws,
disturbing.
that are imbued with dark magics. They can be offered blood to help their owner. This could be for good fortune, help with daily tasks, or revenge.
Thanks to the
But
Pokemon
we'll
leaks, we
split
know what
that in
Mimikyu
a
looks
slightly
like
more
under its
family-friendly direction.
outfit,
We'll also
and it's
add in a
exactly as
dash of
disappointing as you
classic
think it
voodoo
is.
doll. Let's go
Some
ahead
things are
and
best
meet
left off to the
Stitcher,
imagination.
the ghost doll
That is
Pokemon.
disturbing and a good
It
mix
is
of
a
Bayonet
common
and with
custom in the
Mimikyu.
Hoenn region to build
I like its
small
shiny covers a
dolls
bit
in
more,
hopes
but this is
that a
also really good as it
Pokemon
is.
spirit will possess it. Loving the doll and
Normal
carefully
ghost
seeking
sounds like a
sometimes
dangerous combination,
results
given that
in it
one
becoming
says
a
the other
stitch-up.
can't touch it.
They are quite playful and love to assist their trainers with chores and odd tasks.
Oh, I like this thing.
Its ability is insomnia. Since in the lore you leave out blood for the doll, and while you sleep, it goes and does its task. So insomnia works, can't be put to sleep, and it's
This is so you're saying this is the sleep paralysis demon.
It's cute. It's cute. Now the typing is a bit of a pain to deal with, but you eventually take
Spam
down
dark type
Moose's
attacks.
last Pokemon.
If Professor Pines asks, I definitely didn't go easy on you.
I believe
Tell him
you.
I totally used 6 high-level Pokemon, but you still beat me, dude.
Yeah, sure.
Well, here's
Him
a
and
piece
his
of
6
Metagross
Metagrosses. I don't know how I survived.
Notice that I found it, since it also wears a big question mark. But you should take it back to the research shack now. Later, dude.
You head out, making sure to track down and catch a Kakurasai, and trek back to the
I like how the
research shack.
inside of his mouth looks
And
like the
actually, let's
vocal
go ahead and
expansion
look
of
at
like
the decks
screaming
and see
usually
how
in
we're doing
shows
so
like
far.
Echo Echo and stuff like that.
It's not bad at all. You'll have to let me know if there are
Not
any
bad, not bad.
evolutions
We're
that
still
you're
early on, so you
particularly
can't expect the
excited
full
to see.
151 to be showing up, but still.
With your first device component in hand, you stroll into the research shack. But we'll pick up from there.
Alright,
in
this
the
was
next
cool. We
episode.
got ourselves
Be
an
sure to leave a
unofficial
like,
gym battle,
comment,
saw
and
some cool new
subscribe if you are
Pokemon, and a
enjoying
lot
the
of cool
series.
stuff. The
If
cat, I
you
think, is the
puzzle,
most
add it to
disturbing.
the
Just
Discord
like,
server, and it
I'm
is
again, imagining
easy,
the
so
animation, just
check
like,
the
it looks like a
video
normal
description
cat,
for
but then when it does an
details on
attack
how to
animation,
join
the
the
claws and
Cyber
tentacles
Club
come out.
if
It's
you
like,
haven't
ah!
already. All right.
And that
I'll
thing
catch
being
you
an
in the next
Ultra
one.
Beast that's trying to
Later, nerds.
sneak its way in is actually kind of clever, because that's kind of like how cryptids mostly do things, like stay hidden, no one knows I exist, and then strike in the nights or something like that. And an Ultra Beast would do a similar thing, just being like, no one knows I'm here, I'm just gonna stay stealthily. I'm a cat now, I'm just a cat Pokemon, I'm like a Lilliput. No, not a Lillipup. I'm not just like a Liepard, but like a regional variant. Ah! You know, one of those things. The toxic one, I think, was the most interesting just because it's a pollution Pokemon, but kind of is trying to help with pollution in a way, and it comes from Unova, so it's like they have that little distant thing. Again, I like to imagine they like were originally from Unova, clean up most of the chemicals, and then they were like hungry, so they just moved to the Hoenn region because they had more food. Again, like we do in real life, it's like, oh crud, we're running out of resources here. Better move, because that's just what we do as humans. And animals do it too. It's just like, we're running out of resources here, let's leave. There's actually a plot point in The Lion King, I think, too. Just like, the Pride Rock wasn't where Mufasa raised all of his people and stuff like that. He knew when to move the herd when, you know, we were starting to get low on supplies. He knew to be like, okay, well, the other animals, they are supplies for, like, we'll treat them well, but they're food at the end of the day. So we gotta make sure that we ration out them and don't go through too much, or we have to move again. Meanwhile, Scar didn't give a frick and just had the hyenas hunt them down to extinction. And that's why, and he refused to move because the entire point of it was to take Pride Rock, and why they ran out of resources. He refused to move. And granted, in the end of the movie, frickin' Simba doesn't move anyway, but we're at the end of the movie, and that's the big happy ending part, so hey! There's like 2 minutes left in the movie. Let's have our big happy ending. And, yeah, the other two were cool, too. I don't take that away from them. The frickin' ghost type was extra spooky, with its, like, want for blood and stuff like that. It's like it could be seen as creepy and kind of cool in a weird way. It's in that weird, nice mixed zone where it's like it's spooky but also kind of cool, you know. Like I'm disturbed by you, but I also kind of like it. It's weird. I don't think Pikachu's kind of neat and just like it screams. It's not hugely thrilling, but it's a Pikachu. It's like, look, they gotta have something to stand out, right? Otherwise, they're like freaking. Here's Pikachu, but a squirrel. Here's Pikachu, but steel type. Here's Pikachu, but a bunny. I think the only Pikachu that's been accepted thoroughly, or at least not been like some gimmick, is Pichu, and that's only because it's part of the Pikachu line. So it's like that one gets a pass. Could you even call it a Pikachu in that regard? I mean, kinda, but not really. Anyway. So yeah, really cool Pokemon in this. I like Moose. Moose is a good character. I mean, I like Zeus from the original Gravity Falls too, but Moose is just like has that similar feel to just like, I like this guy. There's nothing complicated about him. He's just like a simple down-to-earth guy who admittedly screws up often. But, you know, he's a good guy at heart. And while that cliche is kind of about like, oh look, here's the fat guy, but he has a heart who screws up. He has a heart of gold and will always be your friend. It's like, it's a cliche, but it's done for a reason. It's just like, yeah, because we like that character. If it wasn't done to death, we wouldn't use it if it wasn't good, right? It's just like, dang it, Zeus. But then he has a funny line. It's like, I'll spin him. And if you don't like Zeus, that's fair enough. It's opinion. But yeah, Moose seems to have that similar vibe. He seems like a good friend. Like, after all, as he said, or at least claims, he went easy on us. We totally went full power. He was just using like 1% of his power. He swears. Well, we won against him, so we'll tell that story. No problem, bro. You do me a solid, I'll do you a solid. That's bro code. But yeah. And Grunkle Stan clearly, or Grunkle, the Pokemon professor clearly knows more than he's letting on. Yeah, something's up. He's clearly playing dumb. Wonder what that could be about. Anyway, let's just try to make sure we don't fall into the bottomless pit ever. Or who knows, maybe that's how we beat the big bad. It's just like, hey, how do we beat this ultimate legendary Pokemon? Throw it in the bottomless pit. It can't fly. There's your out. There's no levitate or anything like that. It just can't fly. Oh wait, it's Bill Cipher, so it can. Well, maybe we just make this one ground type. We have an out to this. We have it out to the big bad. Just throw it in the bottomless pit. Sort of, kind of. Anyway, the point is, we could use that later. Anyway, awesome stuff. Another great episode by Fruit BR. And again, go and check out the channel if you haven't already. And so, yeah. I got nothing to say really. Just another great episode. And I guess I'll just see you all later. Bye.